Nobody can change their financial situation without upgrading what they can offer. That's why exactly 1 year ago, I told myself I would upgrade myself and upgrade what I can offer. I set goals. More specifically, I set goals to keep myself creative, goals to keep myself healthy, and goals to make me more money. Here's a quick rundown of those goals and the corresponding results. 12 paintings, 900,000 pesos in PSE, 10,000 Australian dollars in ASX. Complete 6 sources of income, 2 MP2 accounts, read 12 books, run sub 35k, bridge to Brisbane, 5k subs, create 30 videos, create 20 shorts or reels, 12 community posts, MacBook Air, and a new camera. Yung glass half empty way of thinking about this is I've achieved 6 out of 14 goals I set at the start of 2024. Pero yung natutunan ko in the past few years of setting goals for myself is that goals are not black or white, 0 or 1, yes or no, circle or X. Yes, goals are an objective way to gauge your results, but they do not reflect the input you have put in behind the scenes. Since transparency ang overarching theme natin sa channel na ito, I think mas valuable na makita natin yung efforts underneath each high-level goal. A little fact about me. I like to draw to relax and pass the time. Kung familiar kayo sa flow state or that feeling when time passes quickly kasi sobrang focused and enjoy ka sa ginagawa mo, sa dinami-dami ng mga activities na trinay ko sa buhay ko, sa drawing ko lang po talaga na-experience yun. Because of that, ayokong spoil yung experience ko by forcing myself to draw kahit hindi ako motivated. Don't get me wrong, I still believe motivation is overrated and discipline talaga ang kailangan natin to achieve our goals. Pero in this case, I realized na ayokong gawing unpleasant experience ang aking original passion. Well, that, or tinatamad lang talaga ako mag-drawing.
Di bali ng tamad, hindi naman pagod.
I still made some sketches here and there, pero hindi ko sila pinost sa art account ko in Instagram. In 2023, I revealed that my PSE portfolio dropped by 11% from 904,000 to 801,000 pesos. So last year, my goal was simply to return to that 900,000 pesos na mark. With a loss of 11%, I need about 12% gain just to recover, just to break even. That 1% difference seems insignificant for now, pero remember guys na hindi na po ako nag-add ng buying power sa mga Philippine accounts ko. So basically, kailangan ko ma-recover yung 12% from capital gains and dividends lang. So, calculate ko how much my portfolio need to grow each month for 12 months para makagapang from 800,000 to 900,000 pesos. And that number turned out to be 1%. If CAGR is the compounded annual growth rate, then 1% is my target CMGR, or compounded monthly growth rate. The start of the year was pretty good, hitting almost 6% growth in January, plus nalampasan ko yung 900,000 pesos na goal in September when the account grew to a value of 922,000. Unfortunately, bumaba po ulit and I ended the year just a hair short of my goal. 888,000 pesos. Pwede ko sanang dayain at mag-deposit ng 12,000 pesos, pero parang niloloko ko lang yung sarili ko at saka kayo guys. Walang profound lesson dito because that's the reality of investing. I set goals, I set plans on how to achieve them, pero in the end, I can only control so much. Hindi naman ako disappointed na hindi ko na-achieve ang goal na ito because, well, I did what I can, and in the end, that's what really matters. For my portfolio naman po dito sa Australia, mas madali ang goal ko because first, I was just letting this accumulate. Second, I never sell. And third, actively ako naglalagay ng buying power every week. For 2024, ang target ko lang po is to grow my ASX equity to 10,000 AUD. Happy to report that my account's equity at the end of the year was 15.4 thousand AUD. One thing I realized when I was learning the ropes of stock market investing dito, or share market as they call it here, is that Filipinos, or at least me, take for granted the tax system in the PSE. Explain ko sa inyo. This is an actual trade I executed recently and guilty po ako na hindi ko binabasa yung mga ganitong klaseng email in the past 7 years in the PSE. So, after selling 40 shares of Globe, nakatanggap ako ng 87,360 pesos or the gross amount. Ilalagay ko na lang sa screen yung value and computation of the other fees kasi irrelevant sila sa point ko. Okay, what we're interested in is the sales tax na 524 pesos and 16 centavos, which is 0.6% of the gross amount. This, according to the PSE, is in lieu of the capital gains tax, which means hindi mo na kailangan i-report yung capital gains mo after the transaction. Alam nyo ba yung capital gains tax dito sa Australia? Tumataginting na 30%. 30%! PSE, 0.6%. ASX, 30%. Now, pwede ako magmukmok at i-blame ang system for cheating me and stealing my money. Or worse, hindi na ako mag-i-invest at all. Pero wala ako mapapala dyan. Sabi sa isang podcast, don't let a fault in the gate keep you out of the garden. If the 30% tax discouraged me from investing in the ASX, wala dapat ako sa posisyon right now to be proud of this investing milestone. It's a good reminder para sa atin na minsan may bad reviews tayo nakikita, nababasa, na magdi-discourage sa atin na itry yung isang thing na ito. Experience pa rin po is the best teacher. So kung hindi mo aaralin at hindi mo susubukan, at hindi ka magpupursiging mag-improve, then you are part of the majority of the population na go with the flow lang sa buhay. Nothing wrong with that, pero personally, gusto kong ako ang may hawak sa destiny ko. Nox, destiny. Anyway, may paraan naman po kasi to turn that 30% into 15% capital gains tax lang, which is to hold that position for at least 12 months. Yan po yung discount na ino-offer nila dito to encourage people na mag-invest for the long term instead of dabbling in high-speed trading or day trading. Yan exactly yung reason kung bakit hindi pa ako nagbebenta ng stocks and ETF positions ko dito. Okay, I won't talk too much about this kasi I literally created an entire video about it. Check the link right here. Pero ang TLDW version nito is I met and exceeded this goal. Instead of 6, I finished 2024 with 10 streams of income. Check the video if you're interested. I wanted to open a new MP2 account para sana I can do the ladder strategy. Pero hindi ko nagawa yet in 2024. So this year, I'll try again. Especially because na-lock out po ako sa virtual pag-ibig account ko and apparently there's no way to request it to be unlocked except sa pagpunta sa physical branch ng pag-ibig. Not sure if you noticed pero nasa ibang bansa ako. So paano na? If may alam po kayong ibang way to unlock my virtual pag-ibig account, please let me know. Easily, my favorite goal from this list of goals is yung pag-complete ko for the first time of the 12 books in 12 months challenge. Here are the books if you're interested in what I read. Halo-halo po yan. May self-improvement, may hard sci-fi, may textbook pa nga that I used to study nung nag-take ako ng isang Google Cloud certification. Just like any other skill, naramdaman ko talaga na bumilis yung pagbabasa ko at na-enjoy ko na yung reading habit na ito. Actually, during the second half of the year, I was reading multiple books at the same time na siguro 5 years ago, hindi ko na-imagine na kaya kong gawin yun. Pero that depends on my mood and the state of mind at any given time. Minsan, kaya ng utak ko mag-process ng self-improvement concepts, but other times, I just let my imagination run wild with hard sci-fi novels. So speaking of goals I have been trying to achieve for years, this one still proves to be very elusive. Up until now, my PR for a 5K is still 32 minutes and 3 seconds which I recorded on 29 January 2023. Since then, hindi ko pa na-beat itong personal record ko and I can make excuses kung bakit nag-regress yung 5K speed ko in the past 2 years pero we're not interested in excuses. Instead, in the next chapter, I'll talk about how I plan to first, beat my PR of 32 minutes and second, finally do a sub-30 5K run. Abangan. In my last year's goal-setting video, I told you about this annual run called Bridge to Brisbane. Twice na kami sumali dito ng partner ko, so I thought I would be able to run it for the 3rd straight time. Nag-sign up kami, we received our t-shirts, but some plans changed and nasa Singapore po ako nung race day. Of course, pwede naman ako tumakbo ng 10K virtually, pero anong nangyari? Well, pakita ko na lang. This is my second favorite goal for 2024. I didn't get the exact number no December 31, pero as of today, January 19, we received 7,480 subscribers. When I received 5K subs, nagbigay lang po ako ng small reward sa sarili ko, itong subscriber counter. I know it's not directly under my control kung magsusubscribe kayo, kaya nga second favorite goal ko lang ito compared doon sa 12 books na nabasa ko kasi nasa control ko ang effort doon. I am just a small YouTuber trying to share my journey, guys. Wins, losses, and stories in between. Sulit na sulit din yung pagod kasi nagko-comment kayo about how it inspired you, how it helped you, and sometimes also take action to change your financial situation. Kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, I have so many plans for this channel. So if you want to be here before I reach 10,000 subs, or even 100,000 subs, consider subscribing na po. For goals 10, 11, and 12, I failed 2 and achieved 1. Target, 30 long-form videos in YouTube. Done, 17 videos. Completion, 57%. Target, 20 shorts or reels in YouTube Shorts or IG Reels. Done, 17 in YouTube Shorts, 27 in IG Reels. Completion, 100%. Target, 12 community posts to boost my engagement. Done, 9 posts. Completion, 75%. I did not start from zero nung sinet ko ang goal na ito in January 2024. I already have some money saved na gagamitin ko to buy a MacBook at tinuloy ko lang ang pag-iipon throughout last year. Thankful ako sa decision ko to go with a MacBook Air instead of a Pro kasi hindi ko pa naman kailangan yung specs ng higher end model. Yung isa kong regret, ayoko siyang tawaging regret kasi alam ko naman na mangyayari siya even before I made the decision. Medyo mabilis kasing mapuno yung 500 gigabytes na storage because I'm working with large files. So at any given time, yung last 3 Final Cut projects lang yung nandito sa device, tapos binaback up ko lang sa external hard drive yung mga past projects. Hassle siya kasi if I need to copy something from a previous project, I need to plug in my SSD again. Pero yun nga, hindi naman siya dapat regret kasi malaki yung natipid ko in exchange for this slight inconvenience. Also, I tried to record in 4K before. Mukhang hindi kakayanin itong laptop ko. Naging creative na lang ako noon sa pag-edit and manage my computer's resources para lang maitawid yung video na yun. And speaking of 4K resolution, my last goal for 2024 was about getting a dedicated camera for recording. Long story short, I saved nothing towards this goal for 2 reasons. Hindi ko pa alam yung mismo model na gusto kong bilhin. And second, wala talagang extra na pera kasi naka-allocate na po lahat. Okay lang naman, I can't complain. Hindi naman kasi urgent na mag-upgrade ako from my iPhone 13 mini kasi it still works fine. Ang downside lang is nag-suffer na drastically yung battery health. Hindi ko na-achieve ang goal na ito, but at least I was able to research and narrow down my choice of camera to 2 models. Sony ZV-F1 or Sony ZV-E10. Welcome na welcome po ang opinion nyo guys if may experience kayo sa cameras. Let me know in the comment section.